Joining us by phone is Bill Fleckenstein, founder of Fleckenstein Capital. Bill, welcome back to InBusiness.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
We're reporting today here in Manhattan courtroom, the trustee saying he wants to transfer $2 billion, repay customers about 70% of what they had lost. Have you seen any money?
No, but in all fairness, to the process they've established, only accounts that had no positions were to get their cash. Then they've gotten them, from what I understand. Now we'll begin the process after today of those who had positions, no matter how few you might have had. You begin getting your cash. So I'm in that category. We actually spoke with someone from the trustee's office today, and it sounds like that cash will be released, I guess, in the next couple of days, and we should hopefully get it sometime in the next couple of weeks.
So
but
within
of course, they're only talking about getting part of our cash back to us at this point.
Can you give us a range on that? Do you have any idea how much of your cash?
Well, they claim it's going to be 66%. Unfortunately, there's some confusion as to what date they're going to use, because there was the 1031 period when this first happened, and then people's accounts weren't transferred for 3 days, and the accounts moved, and there's some confusion as to what is the actual value. Also, in my case, I happen to have collateralized with T-bills to try to protect myself. And, of course, my T-bills have a slightly different value than the market value, so there's some details that have to be worked out. But you're supposed to get essentially 2/3 of your cash.
What has the communication been like to you and other customers?
Well, I think the process has been, rather pathetic in general. The fact that we're still flailing this much later is mind-boggling to me. Of course, John Corzine says, oh, gee, I didn't know anything, and I didn't intend to do anything. So he was totally useless yesterday. Basically got up and said, I know nothing. The old Colonel Klink from Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. I see nothing. So he was totally useless. And so it's been very frustrating that this process has been as pathetic as it has. Having said that, my office has contacted the trustee's office a couple of times, and we've gotten, responded back to, and they've answered our questions. So I think at the sort of the small detail level, they've been somewhat cooperative, but in terms of the entire process, it's been ridiculous. I think the CME has been particularly pathetic since they were the regulator. How come they haven't stepped into the breaches even more than they have? I think is very disappointing.
There were questions from congressmen yesterday about whether there should be clawback of salary, of bonuses paid to MF Global executives to compensate victims. Would you be supportive of that?
Well, I think that's not a bad idea, but I think I would go one step further. In Switzerland and in Brazil, and it used to be in this country, that directors and officers of financial entities were personally responsible if the entities lost money. And we should bring that back across the board. If the directors of these banks, do you really think Bear Stearns and Lehman and Merrill Lynch would have done all the crazy, stupid-ass things that they did? If the directors and officers were personally liable, you think they really would have gotten leveraged 40-to-1 on, worthless paper? So I think they can claw back the bonuses from Corzine if they want to. I certainly wouldn't object to that. But really, since it wasn't the law, we shouldn't change the law, but we should make that a law going forward.
Well, Bill, it's an interesting idea, and I'm sure that would dramatically change what they're talking about in the C-suite. We got to leave it there, though.